Hello, my name is Danish Patan, and we're going to be covering this week's assignment. It's group one, based on auction, and yeah, we should be good enough for this week's presentation. So there we go. The topic for this week is like FCC spectrum. These are my basic details. This is for the April 13th course, like that was held in the online one. So we're going to be covering certain aspects in it. So the agendas that we're going to be elaborating and covering would be firstly the introduction. Second would be the approach to design the spectrum. The third one would be the English auction. So the manner in which the auction is done in terms of the English style, because that's a different method. Then it's going to be followed by the Dutch auction. And then it's going to be recommendation and conclusion. And then in the end, they're going to be reference. Hope you're going to like it and understand a bit what I did try my level best in order for you to have a clear thought on the visions of what the process is like. So we're going to be covering like FCC spectrum because that's what the government are really interested. So after the government, like the US Fed uh, Communication Commission conducted a successful PSC auction in 1904, like 1994, so 1904. The auction approached the allocation of scarce radio spectrum, replaced a traditional method. The government used a spectrum auction to price the license and assign the wireless communication, like whoever wins it. So they're gonna designate in that proportion. The second one would be the design of the spectrum auction has experienced many innovation in recent past. Eventually, there used to be a different manner in which the government used to better make an agreements with the dealers or the bidders or the ones that are ready to take the license and ready to run the farm. In the United States, the FCC is charged with responsibility to award the communication license by the way of auction charging the manner which is the spectrum license are agreed and distributed. Then we got the approaches of designing a spectrum auction. So on one side, we got the auctioneer that'll be an individual who will be able to conduct what is the commodity that is on the line of the auction. So over here, it's the FCC spectrum by the US Fed Communication, and on the other hand, that's going to be the bidders who are going to be applying their bids in order to win it or do business and so on, whatever they are interested in. So we'll just try to give it a big dig. So the efficiency of the allocation of the spectrum rights is a major consideration in designing the best auction method. The bidding process should allow for a competitive bidding to take care for the individual bidder vested interested in the public. Because eventually, wherever there's going to be fair competition, there's going to be fair bidding. So yeah, over here also we do emphasize that there's going to be fair one. The auction price capture the estimate value that the bidder place of the spectrum goods. Competition also facilitate the creation of innovative uh, ideas, process in the bidding process. The auction design also considers the demand for the license against the quantity of the license available. So yeah, once you win, you eventually are in the race to have the business. At the same time, you tend to get what you didn't had in the past experience or whatever you want to call it. Then we got the English auction. So I would say in today's world, it's the most used one. It's the most transparent one, to be honest. I do. It's an auction that's going to be easy to understand, and you all don't have to dig in too much of your efforts in order to understand. So they're going to be like a simple process. But at the same time, they're going to be four tires in it. They're going to be the English action, the reverse action, the multi variable auction, and they're going to be the hybrid data auction. That's going to be a altogether different one, but we're going to we can talk about it a bit later. Let's first of all understand the English auction. The English auction is generally a transparent auction process for distributing the spectrum right. The participants are have the access to the required information for the processing of the bid at cost free. So like any individual who is interested, gonna ask you for a penny because eventually you're gonna pay if you win, or if you do have the attire to participate in it, you need money. So like that's a most basic one. The process of English auction gives the bidder opportunity to get the information above the rest of the bidders at no cost. So that's a plain one. You beat me, it's yours. So easy and transparent. he bid raised progressively the bid process by trying to dislodge the second highest bidder. So it's basically like if I'm bidding $150,000, you just gotta bid like $160. At the same time, when the auctioneer says, "Yeah, I have won it," I just need to pay you like one or the second highest bid was like 150. So I'll just pay you like I can pay you like 1,500 and 200. That will be it. Because I just beat you. So that's the necessity over here. The process continues until one bidder remains at the clock and the clock remains at like the trigger is on. So yeah, that's the process. If the bidding is going on, the process will go on, and so would be the auction that would be in continuation. The underlying factor in the English bid is to inform a successful bid for the auction participant. Since the process discharges collusion among the bidders, the selling price is effectively reduced. Because eventually you just got to beat the second highest individual, and then yeah, you can bargain it to a certain extent. Not bargain it, that's your right to be honest. You just got to beat it, and you just got to beat it at the right time to get the hammer bang down the table. So this was the English auction. Now we're gonna be covering the Dutch one. Yeah, there you go. That's the Dutch auction. So the Dutch auction is also known as a descending auction because eventually the in comparison to the English auction, it was like the Dutch auction is basically a pride of the ones that remain in the Holland. So it's the Dutch pride kind of factor. At the same time, I don't want to sound political at the same time, but it is what it is, to be honest. Because it's a descending one, a lot of people don't use it. It might be used in a certain factor because there might be groups who are willing to just have a liking towards it and just like to participate in such a manner. Because when you get used to a particular aspect, that's how any individual tends to do. So the method is the method which is interactive indices starts with the highest possible value that are lowered progressively until the bidder accepts the specific bid price. So eventually, like if there comes a car, it's just gonna be like $1 million, and then it's gonna be start descending in a certain limit until which the bidder is like, okay, I'm gonna take it. I'm ready to pay for that one. So it's the English one goes from up to down. The Dutch kind of goes from down to up. The winning bidder is the one who first accept the bid price. There are simultaneous offers of the sale bid to the auctioneer at the first price approach. The highest price bidder is declared once the bids are open. So it can be done in a closed manner, but no, I'm not misleading you, but it's just a statement that needs to be enlightened. The knowledge among the bidder is limited, making the approach less possible profitable. The second price bill bid by the auction takes place by the submission covered by the bidder and the auctioneer. So this one would be the recommendation and the conclusion on. Y'all did hear both the parties, the English one, the Dutch one, because these are apparently the ones that are in the run, are very popular, and yeah, factors do run behind these. So I recommend, since y'all might have already understood from the manner in which I was presenting, I'm being a bias, but it's fine to be a bit biased if you are not 100% familiar with the other aspect. But like it is what it is, to be honest, because English auction has more transparency, so that's the reason I was just being a bit biased. The approach gives the bidder the access of full knowledge for bidding the process and allowing the efficiency to come and to the consideration the interest of the bidder as well as the government are taken care. Because it's like if you start a business, you go from here to there. So it's the same scale, and you have a mindset that's going to be like the similar one. A well-designed auction price discharges the desire of conclusion and encourages truthfulness. Various auction approach are applicable. However, the English auction is the best as it allows efficient allocation resources. There you go. In a very beautiful manner, just like the English one. There you go. So these are the reference that I did use in order to consider. And if want to try the second one, I don't know where. Okay, I guess that'll be it from my side. Hope you like it. And yeah, thank you.